Hey gang, hey friends. Hey gang friends. How y'all doing? Green Irene here with a bud break, which really, for all intent purposes, is a Sunday night sesh, just to kind of unwind from a very busy week and get ready for yet another busy week. Uh, don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below and click on that notification button. That way, when each of these live streams or any of my other posts come up, you will get notified that something new is being broadcast. And there is a lot new going on right now. So yeah, I've been really looking forward to tonight's sesh, to say the very least. There's also the comment section. Please engage with me, talk to me. I'd like to hear what you're all thinking. In fact, tell me what you're smoking on tonight. I myself am going to be enjoying Highland, which Highland brand is the brand, and I'm going to be enjoying Rainbow Shades. It's got a very earthy sort of lemony smell. Now, I'm noticing that a few of you that are watching right now, I did say there would be a link that you can chime in with me. Unfortunately, I couldn't get the app set up properly to have you guys on screen. I'm hoping to do that by next week so that you guys can actually come on the screen and we can talk and converse versus just doing it in the chat. That being said, please be sure to chat with me in the sidebar so that I know you're out there and I can talk to you. So what are y'all smoking on? Myself, again, I'm doing rainbow sherbs, or not rainbow sherbs. I keep calling it rainbow sherbs, and it's not rainbow sherbs. It's called Rainbow Shades, and it's by Highland. Now, there's 3 half-gram pre-rolls in this package, and it packs a punch. I had one earlier today and was quite surprised by the effects. It's very, very strong. It's about 30% THC, and it doesn't say much for the CBD. Less than a percentage, right? But it does have better. It is a cross between Chroma and Shady Apple, but I don't smell normally. I can smell apple, but I'm not smelling that with this. And what I'm smelling is the beta pinene, the earthy pinene flavor, to say the least. It's a really great strain. So I'm going to spark mine up. Hopefully you've already got yours sparked up and I'm not just wasting your time here. Rainbow Shades. And you know what it does? It has a very lovely inhale as well as exhale. It is a really, really nice strain. It won't be one of my keep it in stock units because I've got better ones for that. And, if you're curious about what those might be, check them out in the new Bud Break. Yes, Bud Break 2 was just released last week. Well, it's because today's Sunday, the start of the week, right? It was released just before 420, I believe around the 17th, 18th, so that it was just in time. And Bud Break 2 is unlike Bud Break 1, where I kind of talk a little bit, I give you a few strains of indica, a few sativas, some hybrids, some CBD strains. And that book was produced as a fundraiser for CBG TV, which isn't operating anymore. But I've carried on as per promised, and there is Bud Break 2, which was released. And this one has 26 strains by the alphabet letter. I don't know if you've ever heard of that one. Anybody heard of that one? The Queen Mother Goji? Beautiful strain, let me tell you. And then there's F. So A to Z, and every single one of the ones that I tried for this book or that I reviewed for this book are pre-rolls. So you can find, and I tell you where you can find them. If you can't find them at the OCS, which is the Ontario Cannabis Store online, you can probably find them in your local dispensary. If you're curious about keeping track of your strains, because I am, as you know, I've tried over 1,500 and enjoyed probably 99.9% of them. Yes, there has been one or two that never again. It's like vinegar on apple pie. But you know what? Start keeping track of your own consumptions. I put this book out. There's about 3 or 4 volumes that go out each year. 2 to 4 volumes every year go out. And it's just a guide to help you keep track of the different strains that you try. So for example, this is what one of the sheets looks like. And, you just identify the strain, whether it's indica, sativa, or a hybrid, what your cannabinoid was, terpenes, basically what you thought of it. Give it a mark. One of these days, you're going to be heading to the dispensary and you're not going to know what you want. And if you've got that handy book, you can say, oh yeah, I know, I remember that one. I tried, Laughing Buddha, for example. I can never remember the name of Laughing Buddha. So it was really kind of cool when I was able to reflect upon my journal and go, yeah, that's the one I want. But that happens, right? When we get really busy, we get overwhelmed, we get stressed out, that sort of thing. And that's why unwinding with moments like this, in a social sesh or just taking some time out for relaxation is so important. Mind, body, and soul. I tell everybody all the time, I've got one ass and I'm trying to ride 6 horses. And it's because I do. I have a lot on the go. This last week, I published Bud Break Volume 2. Got it uploaded and published. What else did I do this week? Well, again, the 420 showcase. If you haven't seen it already, please subscribe to this channel because it comes out every Wednesday. I am spotlighting, highlighting one particular cannabis product, whether it's a strain or a product. Every Wednesday at 4:20, you will find about a 5 to 10 minute video here at Green Irene's YouTube channel that showcases a particular cannabis strain. So, of course, I did that this week. And in addition to that, I've been working on my Healthy Self workshops because I have several of them coming up. If you're interested in attending one of the workshops, please check Eventbrite to see if there is one in your area. If they're not listed yet, you can always shoot me an email and I'll let you know where I'm doing the next one. But I am looking at doing them across the country. So definitely, again, subscribe to this channel and or follow me on social media platforms. I've got the blog that regularly comes out. I believe the blog is published on Fridays around 1. And that blog, this one this week and several upcoming ones, if you become a subscriber, you get to download a free handbook. So this week I also produced and published the handbook, the free ebook handbook for unleashing inner peace. And it's about reducing anxiety and alleviating stress. It's a great little resource. It's a great starting place if you're looking at using natural therapies like a combination of cannabis, hypnosis, and neurolinguistic programming, which of course is what I promote and what I do and help people to help themselves. All of that sounds very busy and very overwhelming, doesn't it? And you know why? It is very, very busy. And sometimes we can get really, really stressed out by the hustle and bustle of life, right? So as I said, or as I promised, I would be doing some storytelling as well. I'm working on the Healthy Self workshops and presentations. as such, I'm kind of getting my opening going. And one of the stories that I've rewritten it in a variety of different ways for, repurposed it according to whatever story or book or presentation I may or may not have been doing at the time. In my book, in one of the books by Speaking Wind Woman, I call it Muddy Water. Right now, I'm looking at changing that story a little bit. Y'all can tell me what you think. And I'm going to share it with you. And so, once upon a time, in a bustling city that was filled with hustle and bustle of daily life, there lived this woman named Maya. And Maya had faced a very tumultuous, stressful year that was filled with a lot of unexpected challenges and hardships and grief that weighed heavily on her spirit. She wondered, despite her resilience, how much longer she could actually last before all of this took her over and crushed her spirit. So, feeling quite overwhelmed, she decided to go into the village and speak to the grandmother there, the wise old grandmother in the village. And she found her in a quaint little cottage on the side of town, just outside of town. And she hoped that grandmother's wisdom was going to offer her some reprieve or some relief from the stress that she was feeling. Now, before going, Maya, of course, paused in her kitchen and she scanned the cupboards and decided to take a little treat with her and, as a token of her appreciation. Well, she spotted the bag of coffee beans and she put those into her pouch, and she saw some fresh eggs that she had just collected from the coop and put those in the bag, and grabbed a few small potatoes that she had gathered from the garden. And carrying that, she figured that would be a nice little brunchy type of snack for her and grandmother. And she figured it would be the perfect offerings, right? So with these things in hand, off to grandmother's house she went. And, she sat sharing her troubles with grandmother. And as she was sharing them, grandmother kept glancing at this pot of boiling water on the stove. And so Maya asked her, grandmother, what's with that? And grandmother smiled and she said to her, the boiling water could represent all of the adversities and challenges that we face in life, she said. And just like these ingredients, we each react differently to how we face it. And to show what she meant, she picked up the egg and she put it in the water. And she says the egg represents those who face and allow hardships of the adversities that they face. They allow those hardships to harden their hearts. And when they're faced with adversity, they too become hardened inside and unyielding, tough and unyielding. And then she took the potatoes, the small little garden potatoes, and she put those into the pot. And she said, these potatoes are a lot like those who let adversity overwhelm them. It causes them to lose their strength and resilience, and they become mushy and weak, unable to withstand the heat. Well, then she took the coffee beans and she poured them into the boiling water, and she allowed a moment or two for the aroma to fill the air and the water to change color. And she says, now look at these, the coffee beans. They're different. They represent those who, like you, have the power to transform adversity into something beautiful. Despite the heat and the pressure, they release their essence, infusing the water with richness and flavor. You see, they change the adversity. So Maya listened and she realized that while she couldn't control the challenges that life threw her way, she could choose how she responded to them. And she knew that, like the coffee beans, she had the power to transform adversity. And that being said, I too have just gotten busier. and busier and busier, and became very, very overwhelmed with all of the different challenges and tasks that were set before me. So I wondered, could I just toughen up and say, "Rrr, rrr, rrr"? No, that wasn't going to work. And I really couldn't turn to mush because I had to get things done. And so what I did was I took all of my content and I began repurposing it. And all of that content has now been repurposed. And if you check out greenirene.ca, you will see a whole change in the website design. And I'm a lot more clear on what my offerings are. So any comments, suggestions, input would be greatly appreciated. But please definitely subscribe. Check out the blog and be sure to subscribe so you can download any one of the free handbooks that are available, and more are coming available because I have a routine. I have learned to face the adversity like the coffee bean. And now I'm going to start rhyming because you know what? Yeah, rainbow shades. I think stories like that really help us to see things from a different angle because, one of the things we learn in NLP is that the map is not the territory. And basically what that means is like apple pie. Picture apple pie. We all know what apple pie is. And you and I can share the exact same apple pie, but you might tackle it differently. So the taste that you have will be different than the tastes that I have. Your map of that apple pie is different than my map of the apple pie. My grandson and I this week, we were talking about something and we were talking about how, there's different viewpoints and yet nobody's wrong. Everybody, both parties are correct. And so I said to him, so let me show you something, buddy. Oh, that's the Heal Thyself workshop, guys. Oh, it's so exciting. So I said to him, I said, look at it this way, bud. I said, when you look at that from your side, what do you see? Okay, so it's backwards here, guys. I'm sorry, because it's mirrored image. But what do you see? You see the number 9. Well, when I'm looking at it from this angle, I'm seeing the number 6. And yet neither of us are wrong. It is a 6 or a 9, depending on the intent that it was written with. And in my case, it was to disturb you and confuse you. So that's Irene unloading her mind tonight, guys. There's nothing in the chat, so I don't know what else to talk about. I was hoping you guys would be chattering with me. Anybody got... What are you guys smoking on tonight? Tell me, somebody, tell me something. I was thinking about 420 yesterday. And of course, all through the feeds, it was, this is a palindrome this year because it's 420, 2024, which is backwards, the exact same as it is forwards. And there used to be one about Niagara River. I just don't remember what it is. And I was thinking about all the events around the globe. And, the one that still appeals to me the most is the one in Vancouver. And this year they had the art gallery thing. Like I've only just started to look at the pictures. I just kind of like bookmarked it. I'll get back to it. Really, the legacy lives. The legacy lives. The legal market is evolving, which is beautiful. We're seeing a change that is more conducive to the community that it supports. But these things take time. Some of the laws that were a little ridiculous in the beginning regarding advertising and marketing are at least being reconsidered, if not changed. And I know they're lightening up in some areas, but not nearly fast enough. And it's very, very difficult for brands out there to tell you what they have, to say, hey, guys, we just came out with this great whatever. And that's one of the reasons why I'm doing the showcase. It's an opportunity for me to explore these different products, share with you my experiences, and give you some of the idea of what to expect when and if you're going to give the product and or strain a try, right? Somebody once asked me, actually, not somebody once asked me, let me rephrase that. Words matter so much, don't they? A lot of people have asked me in different ways at different times, how exactly do you do that sort of judging? I mean, after you've smoked a joint or two, can you really tell? Hi, Irene, what's the name of the, oh, I'm sorry, I can't read that, of the strange hours smoking? Hi, Irene, what's the name of the strange hour smoking? I'm not really sure. Oh, I know what you're trying to ask me. What's the strain that you and I are smoking? Because you have one of these half grams to test and try and judge as well, to review as well. We are enjoying Rainbow Shades by Highland. Highland is the brand, and it's Rainbow Shades, which is a cross between Shady Apple and Chroma. It's supposed to smell and sort of taste a little like sour apple, kind of like a green Granny Smith apple, but I don't find that it does. Do you? I'm asking you, Gary, because you're smoking the same thing I am. So that, just wondering. But I do like the high from it. It's got a really good chill. Woohoo! I like that high. What was I saying before that? Advertising, marketing, collaborating. You know, it's really, one of the challenges I've had is communicating how I can collaborate with others, because I kind of need to know what they're going for so that I can get my creative juices flowing and say, oh, you know what would really work? How about a strategy on along these lines? And then we get to flesh that out. I absolutely love doing that. I thrive on doing things like that. And it's funny because my brother also had, really creative juices and such. And like for a moving company, a friend's moving company, he said to them, oh, you know what you need to do? Put on the side of your van a little cartoon with the guys going, we'd like to move it, move it. We like to move it, move it. I thought that was so cool. That might come from growing up in Niagara Falls. I have no idea what the event in Niagara Falls for 420 was like this year. I do know that I have several friends who are attending, both as some as exhibitors and some as just attendees. So I am very curious to know what you guys all thought of any events that you went to this year. Next year, I think I might like to explore a few that are out of my normal range. So my normal range would be Toronto, Barrie, Niagara Falls, anywhere in that kind of line. And I think I'd like to, I know one of these days I'd love to be out on the West Coast and attend one of those events. I love to see the group gathered there this year. The pictures are great. It is very sad. And, our prayers go out to Neil Magnuson from the CSP out there, or VCBC. He has taken ill, and he is on the mend, and we just keep wishing him all of these positive thoughts. So this was the first 420 in 25 years that Neil has not been in attendance in person. He was definitely there in spirit, and he was definitely there in the hearts and minds of many who were present. Fat fingers. Yeah. Typing isn't always that easy, is it? It's hard to tell what it tastes like, but it has, it really does have that totally chill. Yeah, I like this. It is an indica. It's around 30% THC with very minimal, not to speak of CBD presence. And Yeah, I mean, I like it. It's definitely worth the dollars. It's this one. It ranges between $10 and $15 at your local dispensary. I will, of course, do a full review on it in one of the upcoming volumes of Bud Break. I won't be producing the Bud Break blogs anymore because, again, I've got one ass. I'm riding 6 horses. So I am doing reviews, live reviews, recorded live reviews, their presentations for the 420 showcase. Please check that out. It's right here on this same channel. In fact, it's its own playlist. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Down the road in coming months, I am looking at doing some work with a company to help give them some exposure. That being said, this show, Sunday night show, may become a subscribers only. So not that you can't view it, but you won't be able to comment or anything like that, or engage or come on the program with me once I get that other equipment set, or not equipment, but software application set up. Once that's done, we'll be looking at a subscriber comment engagement only. So yeah, so just hit the subscribe button and click the notification button if you want to know when I put something new up. Basically, the something news that you can expect each week is Sunday night will be the live Bud Break podcast, which we're watching right now, or which you're watching right now. And that's at 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 10 p.m. That's my unwind time. Smoke my nighttime joint, say goodnight to everybody, tell a little story so that I kind of, get it supplanted at the surface of my mind. So maybe it helps my dream world, helps guide my dreaming for the evening. So the Sunday's show. Currently, you can also expect Wednesday's show, which is the 420 showcase. It's a 5 to 10 minute broadcast showcasing products that I have reviewed. And once again, I got some really cool new products and strains to share. In fact, at the Can Expo, I was exposed to some strains that haven't even hit the market yet. They're samples only. I got to try them. Really exciting. Can't wait to share those strains with you and the company that brought them to us. Other things you can expect, it's not just cannabis strains that I'm showcasing. I'm showcasing products too. In fact, I am recording this week, so it'll be in a couple of weeks that it airs because it's recorded live. Something on these guys. Ooh, that's all I'm going to show you. And other products too, like stuff like this. Because you know what? I tried something amazing, and I don't know if it's this week's show or next week's show. I think it's next week's show. Absolutely amazing. Pain relief, like that. Beautiful. You don't get high from it because it's not that type of a product. So that's all I'm going to tell you. So that's something else you can expect on Sunday night. Verbal diarrhea, which means I'm going to expose a few things. Again, really enjoying this high. I think it's going to be, help lull me into a nice. I like to do. You guys have a sleep hygiene routine, something like you have. You maybe mellow out with a cup of tea about an hour before bed, maybe like a herbal tea, maybe a cannabis infused herbal tea, or do you have a nice warm bath before bed? What are your routines or habits or procedures to help get you into sleep mode and dreamy sleep land? It's such a challenge globally, such a challenge for so many, for such a large part of the population that, I have been repurposing materials from a book that was this thick and nobody would have ever read it. I'm not sure why I wrote it. Well, I do know why, because now I can break it out into a bunch of different segments and workshops and stuff like that to help you get only the information that you want rather than all the fluff that surrounds it. Here's what it is. Here's what I do to fix it using this triad of therapies: cannabis, neurolinguistic programming, and hypnosis to help you. I'm not going to do it for you. And neither is anybody else. Realistically speaking, it's up to you. So get the help that you need so that you can help yourself. And I've got great springboard starting points information to give you. You can download these handbooks for free. You can also purchase any of the books that I write, and there's new titles coming out on a regular basis. I can't tell you exactly date by date because they're kind of irregular now, but I mean, there's new titles coming out all the time. There's attack arthritis, there's combat chronic pain. So these are battle strategies specific to the chronic condition that you're coping with. Now, as I say these things, I say to you, that was kind of my personal plug for myself. If you're interested in getting something you do related to cannabis plugged, get in touch with me through my website at greenirene.ca. And I'm sure we can figure something out. And they call that collaboration. And in the cannabis community, if I've learned anything, it's about collaboration, not competition. So let's work together. And if I can help you in any way, shape, or form, definitely be in touch. On that note, guys, thank you everybody for tuning in tonight. And for those of you who are catching the recorded after broadcast, remember to tune in next week, Sunday night at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for a bud break here on Green Irene's YouTube channel. I'm Green Irene. Thanks for tuning in. Stay safe, be happy, and get healthy. Ciao for now.